Men who used to last seconds in bed but are now freaks. How did you do it? For the first 15 years of my life, people have avoided me like the plague because I was too ugly to be associated with. Anytime someone showed any interest in me, everyone at school would start teasing them and say that my weight was contagious. They even told my only friend to wear a plague mask around me if they didn't want to live a 600 pounds life. Anytime I tried to go to the teachers for help, they would make it worse. One time I accidentally ate the entire class of snacks for a party, and my math teacher spent 15 minutes yelling at me and telling me that Eric Cartman wouldn't even eat that much. Around that time, people were constantly talking about social media. I tried to keep up with everyone by making a cool Instagram account. I took some pictures for my profile picture against my car, but every time I leaned against the car, a noticeable dent would appear. The only picture that looked alright was of me leaning against my car, with several dents along its side. Everyone printed that photo out and put it all over the school. They would start threatening to call the cops on me whenever I went towards the parking lot because they were afraid I'd break their cars. I would always cry alone in my crappy car with an empty road ahead of me. I get that I had fat arms, flaps that hung over my belt, and had a face full of lard and acne, but I just wanted one person to be nice to me. I was all fat, no muscle, and I hated gym because I was constantly outmatched by every guy. I always came last. My breaking point was when it was graduation day, and right after I got my diploma. I tripped on stage and sprained the ankle of the girl in front of me. All night everyone told me about how I ruined that girl's special day, but it was my special day too. I was invisible to every girl in high school up until graduation day. When I got to college, I was still invisible, but one girl, just one, gave me a chance. She was looking to get back at her ex-boyfriend and lose her V card. I was available, and she gave me a shot. It took a lot for her to get me hard, and we spent more time on that than we did doing anything else. After 15 minutes of her doing all her tricks, I was finally hard and she was ready. I couldn't go on top of her because I would have turned her into Flat Stanley, so she went on top of me. It felt fantastic, and the next thing I knew, I was done in a minute. She was furious and said this wasn't worth it. She told me the only reason she got with me was so her ex-boyfriend would feel angry that she slept with a fat dude before he did, but she at least expected that I'd last at least 10 minutes. When I finally won, the universe spat in my face. That right there was my canon event, and I promised if something like this happened again, I'd just eat myself to death. You can now check if there's a part 2 by clicking share and more.